So today we'll be exploring the Spring Summer 2027 Menswear Fashion Week. I haven't done this before. Probably because menswear has been so analogous. I have been hibernating inside my cocoon of nostalgia, and also I tend to stick with one or two brands. I don't know, it just felt like we're inside a sushi restaurant of fashion shows, but this time it's different. It's because of the colors. Starting with DRIES von Noten, it was painterly. It's actually sorcery, it's witchcraft, it's beautiful. Everyone was doing logos and slogan and haberdashery, but Kostner humbly gave us watercolor paintings. And they're good ones too. The only time that I really fell in love with colors are this, DRIES von Noten, and Rick Owens Fall Winter 2017. When I initially clicked their live stream on YouTube, I thought I'm gonna skip it and I'm gonna I usually fast forward things. But this one I watched till end, no joke. The journey of the looks were so cruisy and easy, like there's a story. The color has a story, the looks has a story. I couldn't pick a specific look here, but collectively it was so powerful. The clothes opened with this buttery yellow and they inserted this Merlot mocha. There's pistachio with sienna, terracotta, sunset orange with hazelnut. And I love this one, the cosmetic nude with a periwinkle belt. I used to be a fashion designer for shoes, right? So I look at colors 24/7. I remember my younger self and I was like, oh my God, this is the kind of coloring technique that I wanted to master before. And this one here, the olive green with khaki and then top with peach. His weapon was colors. I think it was also the perfect timing. Like it was so hot, you know, and everyone was complaining about the Paris heat. And then you see this collection filled with hope and beauty. It's like smelling fresh flowers after going through hell. And I'm talking about the hell that happened in the Rick Owens show, but we'll get on to that later. Can be a bit boring because I think it's the 100th time that a fashion collection has Afternoon of the Fawn reference. But for Julian, it's more of a painterly interpretation. It's not dark, it's not gritty, it's not theatrical. There were hints of pajama, but it doesn't make you sleepy. It wants to make you dress up and go out. There was also sex. Yes, there was sex, but it wasn't rock and roll. It wasn't slimy. It wasn't wet. It's more of a softer Belgian déshabillé, like a romantic novel. There were foulards, there were charmeuse silks that suggest lingerie and bedroom debauchery. There were acetates, viscose chiffon, nylons, and stocking knits. It's almost like a dream vision of a feminine boy. The clothes are almost like dripping off, floating away from your body. There was also curtain-like drapes. The jackets are undulating. The jackets are light, which make it more desirable for spring summer. And I know this is not my style. That's why I was so surprised with myself at how I love the collection. I think this is the top one. I want to share with you another favorite of mine, which truly sparked my joy. And I don't get to spark lately, trust me. That is SONGZIO. SONGZIO has so many likable pieces. The styling is also achievable. Most of the time, when you look at photos on the runway, they look flat. But his collection was both photogenic and videogenic. One thing that truly sparked my joy was the shoes, the mandals. That's how we called it back in the day. I grew up in TC's Givenchy, right? And the gladiator mandals was my fashion awakening. According to the designer, the collection is about exploring layers as protection, which for me is a check, because that's how I treat fashion, as an armor. I don't know, it's so hard to interpret protection during spring summer because, yeah, for me, summer is the time to be naked. Summer is not about layers. Summer is not protecting. Summer is about vulnerability, about fragility. First of all, I love the layering. I saw a video of him explaining that for them to achieve the layering, they have to drape and cut the fabrics horizontally and vertically. So we get this water-falling fabrics. There were also cross-cut elements that undulates, but what really caught my eye were the slashed pants. And these slash pants created segments and panels and mixed with the mandals. It was so convincing. And the Oriental Korean influence pulsates in the pieces, such as these hanbok derived tuxedo jackets and cardigans. There's also these series of looks where must have been done before, but these high-waisted gathered habo ties, but in leather. We also have strong structured looks with these accordion sleeve bombers, and I think it has industrial snaps paired with leather pants with vented openings. And speaking of vents, there were high slit skirt for men. I think it's silk or acetate. This might not be something for the faint of heart, but we are seeing this in menswear in 2026. Another surprising favorite of mine was KIKO KOSTADINOV, entitled Extroflexion. It's an artistic exploration because he was inspired by the avant-garde artists Agostino Bonaluni and Enrico Castellani. I know the clothes can look flat in the photos. It might not have a hanger appeal, but I included KIKO here because he's fresh. It's intriguing. The collection allows for observation, for emotion, and plus the fact that there were many reinterpretation of the usual menswear template. He employed geometric pattern panels and the abundance of these rhomboid theme neck funnels or neck guards. Then you see the cuff on the bombers. Now that's detail, right? And the anchor here is really the way that the clothes have different shapes. Like, this is for menswear. Aren't you impressed? If you're not impressed, I don't know. I'm impressed. It's better than seeing tracksuits. And then there's a propensity of tunics and elongated tops. There's this jacket that looks like a dinner evening opera jacket, but it's a t-shirt. So there's a sense of hybridity here. There's like a play of trompe-l'oeil elements. There's a trompe-l'oeil shirt and a tank top. Then there's androgyny in these looks. Like, you know, I love this one because it's very old Rick Owens, and I think Rick Owens did this extroflexion theme. Like I said, this is the extroflexion theme that he employed, where objects or elements are placed behind a fabric to create a surface texture. All I can see is that KIKO really wanted to find a new language for menswear, and I appreciate that because lately menswear designers are just serving us with the same salmon sushi. It's getting boring, baby. And then there's ISSEY MIYAKE. I love it. I was reading the show notes and I was like, oh my god, this is too technical for me. Can I just appreciate it for its beauty? One look that I really loved was this raspberry. I called it the raspberry look because it's like foamy, transparent, mixed with these zigzag pleating. Am I beginning to be a color-loving fashion freak? There were really broad-shouldered silhouettes here as an homage to the Princess Kaguya character. The color story is also insane. Like, you can see the journey from monochrome to deep colors, but I feel like the colors are more fall winter, hey. And I think the real muscle that truly worked for this collection was the technology and innovation of the textures. The pleats made their mandatory appearance. There's a reimagination of sheer organza and fluid silks with other eye-catching pieces. Seeing this collection makes me want to go to an ISSEY MIYAKE store right now and just admire the pieces. It makes you realize that there's hope for menswear. Rather than chasing futuristic avant-garde, Ziggy CHEN evokes the feeling of soul and time in his garments. The collection was a beautiful narrative of colors, considering that he mainly do somber hues and tones. There was power in the separates as well. Like, if you have one piece, the whole outfit will be infected with this earthy, time-worn characteristic of a Ziggy CHEN piece. And there were lots of curtain layering. There's also a lot of rain-washed colors. Like, You can see that the transition between black, brown, green, mud. And I just love his mastery of mixing hardware and these natural fabrics. Another favorite look of mine is this one. Everything I love is here. There's a relaxed blazer, a deconstructed skirt with this deconstructed holes, and pants underneath. There's a lot of like one-sided dungarees that looks like asymmetric feminine dress, like Athena dresses. And even though his signature is all about soft fabrics, the blueprint of his designs are borrowing from heavy garments like biker jackets, trench coats. Like these are for people who loves winter clothes on a summer setting, and I appreciate him for that because sure, wear a leather jacket on a summer day. And believe me, I love avant-garde, but I have not explored this side of avant-garde yet. But I appreciate the modernity. The prints are just new. Go to a thrift shop and you would never see this. WANG's Spring Summer 2027 is a disheveled and classical aesthetic imbued with a nonchalant attitude. The character development of her fabrics are distinct and hers alone. There's disheveled originality, poetry in dirt and grime, textural richness. The first look was a beige suiting with paint splatters or that random wall that you want to take outfit pics from. And a lot of like fabrics disobeying their functions, but acting more as a facade, acting more as an embellishment. So there's a lot of like jackets here, worn with studied nonchalance, lots of cinching in the waist, lots of overlapping kimono-esque blazers. There's drapey scarves around the figure, and then there's these parka jackets with trapezoid sleeves, challenging the normal template of menswear. There's also this look with the La Fusar's collar-ish look, which is kind of surprising. My favorite ones are the square toe shoes. I think the square toe shoes was a great pedestal for these drapey and billowy clothes. I have seen the lookbook and it was mouth-watering. I wish I could touch the fabrics right now because I feel like this is going to be supercharged with textures. Whenever I think about WANG, I instantly think of Head MAYNER. Head MAYNER is another favorite of mine. Head MAYNER reaffirmed that he was one of the original purveyors of the oversize, and I couldn't agree more. With everyone doing oversize from Xenia to Zara, he is reinterpreting it for Spring Summer 2027. And I love what he wrote on his show notes. He said, minimalism in shape, but maximalism in touch. There were clever techniques that he employed for the collection, such as these high-low hems on the jackets. And there were also sheer fabrics, ghostly doppelgangers getting lost in the garments, creating this three-dimensional perspective. Demna's soul may have left Balenciaga, but his soul is alive in every fashion house. May his Balenciaga soul rest in peace. I brought up Demna because I was on Instagram one time and I saw this DHL hat and I thought we already have moved on from the DHL merch fashion, but here it is again, and disappointedly so, at a Junya Watanabe show. And I'm asking, why are we seeing this at a Junya Watanabe show? I know Junya is the torchbearer of punk. Junya gave us another maximalist look. It's visually assaulting, but conceptually rich, okay? So there's a punk rock theme. There's like a pop star angle. Like this is something that a cool Chinese rapper would wear for his concerts. Heavy on the blings, heavy on the chains. It's very G-Dragon. If you don't know G-Dragon, look it up. The most beguiling to me were the hardware-centric armor. There were so many funny pants. I think this is a collection about funny pants. There were trompe-l'oeil short pants. There were reverse pants, which is so funny. And another funny pants, I mean dungarees. Then there were pants with an exaggerated slit, which I would wear. I would definitely wear that. Then there were pants with vents, again, echoing the design of SONGZIO. But I think this collection is unhinged. There's also an apron look. I love, love, love aprons. But the apron here came from the DNA of a trench coat, which is so brilliant. We need to unsee trench coats. The ubiquity of trench coats are just drowning. Can we make something new, please? The apron was made into a tubular dress. I have not seen that before. I don't like it as a whole collection though, but I love the pieces. Like the separate pieces have so much potential. Like we are seeing this architectural transformer vest. Then you think you've seen enough transformer vests. He gave us more crossover vests in the latter part of the collection, which is so Helmut Lang, so 1997. And I think we've seen that before from Peter Do or Dion Lee. It might be a bit out of place, right? Because it started with a riot of blings. And I saw the title and it was entitled Bling, Bling, Bling. So I'm just gonna shut up and complain no more. So thank you, Junya. And I forgive you for the DHL cap. So with the Rick Owens collection entitled Stone, I was disappointed and I was vocal about it on the socials. There was a lot of anticipation. One of my friends from New York gave me a hint of what might be happening, of what might be taking place, because he knows someone from Rick Owens, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to do like a mini prediction?" So I did all these predictions, and I didn't get anything right because we were blindsided by the Adidas collaboration. What I'm disappointed about is that the trajectory of the Concordians to Temple and to Tower was going towards a sophisticated and darker ethos. Many Rick Owens stands, like the older fashion fans of Rick Owens, heralded the collections as a return to form. And then suddenly we get this Adidas collaboration all of a sudden out of nowhere. It wasn't a serious collaboration, and it wasn't a funny one either. It also felt like a Y3 runway than a Rick Owens runway. During the show's 5-minute mark, there still wasn't a grounding element that moved me. And when things like that happen in the runway, it's not really going somewhere, right? It could have been a nice, poignant reunion between the two, because we all know that in 2014, there was a huge buzz and success. In 2014, during their collaborations, the Adidas shoes were more of a backdrop, allowing the Rick Owens DNA to shine through. I think the Adidas here, the Adidas entering the picture, wanted the Rick Owens narrative to be focused on wellness, more focused on the healthy goth, as in training hard for the hard times of the world, as in building a fashion uniform of a healthy avant-garde person, of a healthy Rick Owens customer. I get that, but maybe do not put it in the Stone collection for Paris Fashion Week. He's showing his collections with the titans of avant-garde, Rei Kawakubo, Junya Watanabe, Yohji Yamamoto, and many big brands. And then you're giving us tracksuits while you're weaving a story about defiance, about training hard for the tough times. I cannot feel that. There were epaulets. Yeah, the epaulets were cute. Like he was talking about epaulets as a sign of authority, but it wasn't a strong anchor. And then there's like tracksuit and epaulets. Where is the link? Where is the connection, babe? And the balloons belong to the sky. The balloons belong to a children's party. I understand his fetishization with inflatable things lately, like in Porterville, fine, it went viral, fine, it made a buzz. But again, seeing this in Stone, I mean, the tracksuit is already hard to watch, and then you inflated it 10 times, making it look uglier. And I understand there was a story behind it. There's a story of heat wave. There's this story of giving birth to the Climacool jackets. But it's hard to decipher the defiance that he was like talking about. I feel like sometimes it's all words. And the more that designers explain their collections, the more that they need to explain it, because the clothes didn't translate to the audience? Because I'm sorry, I look at Rick Owens and for me, Rick Owens is hope. Rick Owens is the answer. Rick Owens is the anti-fashion, right? The enemy of the basic, the enemy of the normcore, and then we are getting normcore pieces with out of touch narrative. Yeah, it became a show about the second coming of Demna. Like they're all talking about how, oh, the Demna spirit is still here. Like Demna's soul has left Balenciaga for so long, so we can move on and let him rest in peace. And also enough with the alien aesthetic. Like, sure, there was a time that you were infatuated with the alien aesthetic, but it's been 6 years already. It's time to see a different beauty. There are so many ugly, beautiful things that you can be inspired of. Sure, there were, okay, to be fair, there were elements of craftsmanship and couturemanship and artisanal. I appreciate the tensegrity element here by Straight UK. But those things, those could have landed well for Temple with all those scaffolding and the industrial elements of that collection. It could have been nice. It could have been a modern day Babel. And then there were mini stones, encrusted tank tops or lingerie according to the show notes. I think lingerie is big for menswear this season. Yet the narrative of the stone here wasn't fully explored to its potential. The noise of the Adidas overshadowed the craftsmanship of these young talented kids. And there were a few comeback pieces. There were mostly recycled silhouettes from the past 3 seasons, which we are getting used to with Rick Owens, right? And I've learned to accept that. I've learned to embrace that. I forgive him for that. But I don't know how the kids at Owens Corp pluck their mood boards. Like, I understood there was a exploration of the nun hats, then there were throwbacks of the Brancusi, and now we are seeing these asymmetric jackets, which I actually love, but why is it there? And I feel like they recycle these elements, more of a pastiche, just to flex that, oh, we're trying to bring the iconic pieces, like give us something new, give us beautiful clothes, give us beautiful narratives, give us a new shoes at least. Like we need new shoes, not those ones. Unfortunately, those aren't shoes, those are plastic things. Even as a stan of fashion nostalgia, I wanted this brand to move on. Maybe he needs to chill with the collaboration with the talented kids. This is his time to explore a new side of Rick Owens. And I understand he has said everything that he wanted to say in the past. He has done what he could in fashion, but I think there is still something there. Rick, I beg you, we need your DNA. You're still alive, you're still healthy, and Michelle is still alive. Like, Stone could have been a nice homage to Michelle as well, because Michelle is the rock of the brand. I was telling my friends, the Adidas collaboration could have been a nice gathering, like a nice community gathering in Berlin. Like an Adidas Rick Owens collaboration party or something, where there's DJ, there's like horses, where there's like influencers, like put everything there, but not for Paris Fashion Week. Let's bring back the order of things here. Party's over. Anyway, that's my review for the Rick Owens show. I watched it 7 times or maybe 6 times to be fair with my judgment, but I stand my ground and hopefully the women's wear stone will be filled with more beautiful clothes. Less tracksuits, less logo, less plastic shoes, and just more beauty. Anyway, that's my review for Spring/Summer 2027 menswear. Menswear isn't dead yet. There's still hope, there's still fun, there's still exciting pieces to look forward to. There are missed opportunities, but this season is creeping up with potential. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.